She was standing in the kitchen busy with work. She had to prepare many dishes today because guests were coming to the house to see her for marriages. Her uncle and aunt had decided to get her married because they couldn't tolerate her presence in the house anymore. But there were no emotion on her face, neither happiness or sadness. Her face looked tired and sad. Her lips were cracked. Her short hair was cut unevenly, probably as punishment, as she wore old torn cloth. Dark circles had formed around her eyes due to hunger, but despite all this, she was beautiful that anyone saw her couldn't help but stare. Her beauty had also become a curse for her, and she had suffered a lot because of it. Her aunt and cousin hated her because of her beauty, and her uncle always because of her beauty. She was lost in her thought, stirred the food was with the spoon, when her aunt's daughter entered the kitchen and smiled, seeing her condition. You know, you are just a temporary guest in our house now, and after a few days, you will be kicked out of our house. I kept an old suit of mine for you. Wear it in the evening. Mom said to get you ready in the evening. She was leaning against the kitchen counter, speaking to her in a mocking tone. When, thank you, sister, but I don't need it. Lena's words were hurtful, but she was accustomed to tolerating even worse behavior from her every day. She continued working, speaking in a soft tone. What did you say, you ignorant girl? You refused me? You were rude to me. You were got the audacity to do so. Wait, I'll get your behavior correct by mom. She spoke rudely, calling out to her mother, and Van looked at her with tearful eyes blinking rapidly. She had not said anything, but she knew she would still be punished soon. Her mother entered the kitchen, responding to her daughter's call. What's wrong, my child? Why are you shouting for me? Mom, this girl was rude to me, and when I reminded her that you told me to get her ready, she said she didn't need to follow your order. This girl tongue is getting sharper day by day. No sooner had Lena spoken than her mother, furious, turned to Vine, who looked at her with tearful eyes. Without thinking, she slapped Vine's face, and Vine cried out in pain, falling backwards. Tears flowed from her eyes, and her face was wet with them. She was always punished without any reason. Who do you think you are, you shameless girl? The more we think good of you, the more you become a curse for us. Once you are gone from this house, we'll have peace. She yelled at Vine with hatred and anger, with Lena stood behind smiling. Lena, don't hit her now, Mom. She was getting married, and it will be hard to hide the marks on her face. Now her future husband will straighten her out. I heard he is a mafia member and he is very cruel. She spoke in a mocking tone, piercing Vine's heart again. She was already suffering from the of this house. Was it not enough that her fate had been sealed with someone just a cruel, and she couldn't accept anything from them? As evening fell, she finished her chores, put on an old suit of Lena's, and lightly prepared herself. She sat in front of the mirror in her small storage room like quarters, gazing at her reflection, her eyes red from crying, brimmed with tears again. Her long hair cut off as punishment now barely reached her neck. Downstairs, some people had arrived to finalize her marriage. She knew this was just a transaction, a deal to sell her to people she had served and suffered of the handoff, they were preparing to sell her, and soon she would escape one hell only to enter another. A faint glimmer of memories flickered in her eyes, and involuntarily tears welled up once more. She pulled out a photograph from under the bedspread that lay on the floor beside her. Gently, she struck the image of the person she had loved with all her heart, the one who had left her without a word, without any explanation. 5 years had passed since she had been waiting for him, hoping that he would return to her, rescue her from this hell. But he never come back, and now even the hope of his return had faded away. He had abandoned her, toying with her emotion, playing with her love. I will never forgive you for this, Jungkook. From today, you are dead to me. May you yearn for someone as desperately as I have for you. I love you with all my heart, but you punished me so severely without any fault of mine. Today, my wait for you has also ended. You turned my heart to stone, Jungkook. Something no one else could do. Today, I free myself from all emotions from you. Not only love, but even hatred will no longer remain in my heart. She ruthlessly wiped away her flowing tear and tore his picture into pieces that discarded in the trash. Mr. Jong, what do you think of our daughter? Her aunt asked, smiling as she noticed the man's constant gaze at Wyan. She knew that Wyan's beauty was undeniable, and now she just wanted to get rid of her. As beautiful as ever, he said in a distant, lost tone, his voice filling on Wyan's ear like molten lead. She couldn't recognize that voice among millions. Involuntarily, she raised her eyes to look at the person sitting in front of her, the one she had erased from her heart, the one she had stopped waiting for, and yet here he was sitting right in front of her. Lena pulled Vine up by the arm and started to take her away. Vine eyes burned over tears, which Jungkook noticed intently. He watched as she walked away, and she didn't seem like the Vine he once knew. She looked weak, frightened, and her hair was cut short, which Jungkook knew wasn't her style. Her eyes seemed empty, yet she still appeared to be the most beautiful girl in the world to him. He sat up straight, having finally found her after great difficulty, and now he wanted to take her away from there as soon as possible and keep her by his side forever. We also don't want to delay the wedding. You can take our daughter away as soon as possible, but we have some conditions and demands that you must fulfill before we give her to you. Wan's uncle said, rubbing his hands together with an unusual smile on his face. Jungkook found him a bit strange at that moment, but he respected him as a Wan's guardian. Please tell me I'm willing to fulfill any demands you have. Wan uncle and smiled even more deeply at his response. Mr. Jong, if you want to marry our daughter, you'll have to pay us 15 million rupees. That's our only demand. You can pay us the money and take our daughter away with you right now. They spoke in a seemingly casual tone, but their words gave Jungkook a massive shock. It was not that money shocked him, but their attitude and the fact they had put a price on wine. Mr. Jung, look, we raised her for so long. It's only fair that we get something in return. And we are giving you such a beautiful girl without asking any question about who you are, where you're from. So it's only fair that you pay us if you can pay. That's fine. Otherwise, you can leave. Anyone would be willing to pay more than that for such a beautiful girl. She spoke with a hint of rudeness, unaware of who she was talking to. Jungkook clenched his fist in distress, feeling that nothing about the situation was right. He wanted to get Vine out of there as soon as possible. For Vine's sake, he was willing to do much more than what was being asked of him. He entered the room and to get their attention, he lightly knocked on the door. Lena immediately stood up when she saw Jungkook while Wine turned her face away. I need to talk to alone, he said, giving Lena a strong look. He couldn't tolerate the way Lena had treated Wine, how she had disgraced his love and left her sitting on the floor. Yes, sir, Lena replied quickly, leaving the room. Jungkook walked slowly towards Wine and sat down beside her. Wine softly and gently calling out her name with affection just like he used to. Hearing her name from his lips after so long, Wine heart skipped a beat. Tears began to flow from her eyes again as she tightly closed them, trying to stop the tear. Why have you come here again? To leave me in pain once more? Leave now. I won't fall into your trap again. I don't have any love for you, nor do I have any hatred. I erased every feeling I had for you from my heart. She spoke with venom, and Jungkook closed his eyes, struggling to bear her hatred. It was hard for him to see her like this. Jungkook, just listen to me once, give me a chance. How can you hate me so much without knowing the truth? Jungkook played his voice filled with despair. The girl had always been his weakness. I don't want to hear anything from you. Please leave. I don't want to marry you. I know you are here and I'd rather marry anyone else, even if it means being humiliated, than marry you. She spoke, wiping away her tears and looking at him. Her face inches from his. Jungkook's patience ran out as he gazed at her face. So close after such a long time, he grabbed her waist, pulling her abruptly closer until she was pressed against his chest, her hand resting on his shoulder. She spoke in a soft, pained voice, and Jungkook pulled her even closer, tightly embarrassing her. Vine's breathing became labored due to his proximity as she tried to push him away. I will resolve all your grievances, Vine. Don't say again that you won't marry me. No matter what you do, you will marry me. I came to give you the good news that you should prepare yourself to come to me forever. Our wedding is tomorrow, and I don't want to see this sadness on your face. Tomorrow will look happy, and you can take out all your anger on me when you come home. You can even hate me. I will accept it. Jungkook helped her from the floor and sat her on the bed. This is your place to sit. I won't see you sitting on the floor again after today. It didn't feel good seeing you on the floor. He looked at her, gently touching her cheeks, and Van lowered her gaze. He seemed to only care about her sitting on the floor, but she had endured so much more that was hard to explain. He quietly left the room after gently kissing her forehead, and Van burst into uncontrollable tears, covering her face with her hand, moving on her fate.